It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
Hey, it's that time for your cup of coffee, and it's a Thanksgiving weekly edition of the show from right here at Slumberland at the Lake. I'm Wild Will.
I'm Uncle Chris.
And this week, we're going to end with some great Thanksgiving trivia. We're going to test your Thanksgiving knowledge.
I got it. I know it.
Love it. We got some great holiday events, plus we're going to tie a bow on the high school football season and look ahead to high school basketball season, which is underway in full swing after this.
Black Friday deals.
All month long. Up to 60% off list only at Slumberland. Like a comfy Ashley sofa, just $339. Plus a best-selling Lazy Boy recliner, just $399. Relax in a dual power reclining sofa in leather for just $799. Deals so big, prices so low all month long. Get a new Ashley 6-piece dining set for just $399.
Black Friday all month long sale.
Get these deals while they last. Only at Slumberland Furniture.
Heck yeah.
Dr. Matt Price here.
And I'm Dwayne Randall, and we are from Price & Randall Injury Attorneys.
With Thanksgiving around the corner, it got us thinking.
Thinking about all that we have to be thankful for this year.
Of course, family, friends, our health.
But it also got us thinking about how important safety behind the wheel is.
And with travel plans surely in your future, don't forget to buckle up and put your phones down.
This Thanksgiving reminder to drive safe, boat safe, brought to you by Price & Randall Injury Attorneys.
Yeah, don't miss out on the Black Friday sales still going on the rest of this month in November here at Slumberland at the Lake. And also, you know, it is getting cold, and I noticed a lot of moisture lately, so the roads are changing, and a great reminder from our friends at Price & Randall Injury Attorneys to drive safe, boat safe. And you realize that more traveling is done over Thanksgiving than any other holiday or weekend of the year?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people out there on the road, a lot of people fly, of course, but more people drive. And you're right, those roads have been wet the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, love that weekly reminder from our friends at Price & Randall. So, all right, we've been telling you all about the Osage Indians. We've been following. It's been quite a journey, and their awesome run comes to an end on Saturday at St. Clair. They lost by a final score of 42-28. Their season ends with a record of 9-3, but they are the district champions, and what a run Shannon Jolly and this year's squad went on.
Yeah, great season, and another district championship for Coach Jolly. That makes 6, I think, in his career. 3 at Eldon, 3 at Osage now. In one of those games, it could have gone either way, and a lot of the breaks went St. Clair's way. I think they had a Hail Mary pass, and, you know, they did some special stuff on special teams. But good teams make those breaks, and St. Clair was able to do that at home. But a great season. You know, we started off the year talking about how good of a season it could be for Osage, Final Four kind of a season, and they put it together, and they had that great season. Didn't quite make the Final Four, but still a great year.
Yeah, incredible year, and they did. They had their shots. They started with the first score. Brock Arrowwood punched it in, and on the very next kickoff, there's a fumble. 4 Osage guys around, and they all went in together, and the way the ball bounced, the one St. Clair player that kind of came in late was able to grab it and pull it out, and so St. Clair retained possession. Osage held them, got it back. Hunter Schreiman took back like a 70-yard punt to the St. Clair 10. Looked like Osage was going to go up, but St. Clair's defense forced a turnover on downs, held them on 4th and 2, and then St. Clair scored the next 14 points. Osage tied it. Incredible effort by Maverick Trusty. Deadlocked 14. I mean, what an environment it was in St. Clair. Unbelievable facilities. The people there were really great, but Hunter Schreiman went on to have a kick return for a touchdown later to pull it to within 1, and then the final touchdown was the sophomore Colt Butler. An incredible play from Maverick to Colt there, as you'll see. So they lose by 14, but man, the community support was incredible. The crowd that traveled to St. Clair to support the Osage Indians was bar none. And I want to say that St. Clair, I've been on the end as visiting media going to hostile environments, right? That was not the case on Saturday. St. Clair was all class from the gate to their coaches to the sportsmanship from the kids. I mean, you saw in some of those videos after Osage scores, St. Clair players helping them up. I mean, it was really cool. The emergency personnel, everything was class there. And then after the game, you know, the players hung around and you saw some of the seniors and Hunter Schreiman. They hung out and signed autographs and took pictures with those young up-and-coming Indians, along with Coach Shannon Jolly right there. Kind of shows you how special this group is. And I want to congratulate Coach Shannon Jolly and the Osage Indians, but also the cheerleaders made the trip, which makes a huge difference. So Kelly Vernetti and Kendra Franick, their coaches, Allison Schneider, the photographer who provides incredible shots, Tom Gwynn, the athletic director, but also the athletic trainer, Zach Greco, and all of the assistants, like the assistant coaches that Coach Jolly has compiled on that staff are really special, most of which are former players. But Zach has the defensive coordinator, Chris Butler, Jake Evans, Rob Hembrock, David Austin, Jarrett Brooks, J.C. Brandt, P.J. Bledsoe, Graham Backham, Matt Barnes, and Mike Williams. Just an amazing staff. And then I really quick want to run down just the senior list because I don't remember the last time a group of seniors accomplished this in a 3-year run. A lot of these guys started as sophomores, including Maverick Trusty. 21 wins, like I couldn't get anybody to confirm it, but I think that it's got to put him top 2, maybe the most wins ever by an Osage Indians quarterback. Maverick Trusty, 21 wins, but you have Eric Murphy, Maverick Trusty, Drake Williams, Ethan Wall, Robert Dubbs, Brock Arrowwood, Jaden Wilkes, Nick Joyner, Nathan Grohl, Grant Wilson, Caleb Smitherin, Landon Robbins, Nathan Lee, Camden Langelier, Colton Nupp, Brady Clark, and Xavier Williams, all graduating in a very special senior class. And then I do want to say Brady Clark, his numbers, 49 of 51.
Wow.
He finished the season on PATs. He was perfect in the postseason. He was perfect the last 6 games of the season, essentially the best kicker in the state of Missouri. But again, congrats to the Osage Indians. So much fun following that team and such a special group.
No doubt about it. And you know, we kind of saw it coming, scheduled 5 of their games to cover on Lake TV during the regular season, so it was just...
You get all the credit there.
It was like perfect.
Running the schedule, you got that crystal ball, you kind of saw the writing on the wall, and they delivered, so thank you, Osage Indians. All right, so hey, those of you around the lake area, I had people reach out. My buddy Kyle Alt, he asked me initially a couple weeks ago, and I started asking, and I saw Lake Expo, but on Highway 42, or 242 and MM right there, the corner, kind of catty corner adjacent from Woods and Lake Ozark. It looks a lot different.
Yeah, there's some stuff happening there. If you've driven by there, like Michelle and I drive by there quite often, it's like, well, what's going on there? So we find out excavation machines have been busy there, 242 and MM there in Lake Ozark. Everybody wondering, so Jameson Rambold, owner of Rambold Excavation, says that his crew is moving about 500,000 yards of material, of dirt and rock and all that stuff to make the site usable for development, okay? He says, we're just trying to make this 27 acres flat for commercial development. He told Lake Expo the vast majority of the earth moving will consist of bringing down the high spots and using the material to fill in the low spots, right? Make it kind of even there. For now, there are no plans to build on the site, but Rambold says he's already received inquiries from potential developers. And I think that thing would be a hot spot. That's a great spot for development right there. Something big is going to be going up in that area.
And here's a few other pros for this potential site, right? He's already working with the city of Lake Ozark, and they're on board. He's having a 10-inch water main and a 10-inch sewer main installed and set up on the site, which would make it very attractive for a potential purchaser. And here's what I love even more about Jameson Rambold. He is a School of the Osage graduate from 2004, lost a job in 2007, said, I want to kind of do my own thing, bought some equipment, and now not only is he running one of the most booming businesses here at Lake of the Ozarks that I've never heard anything negative about Rambold Excavating, but now he is literally at the forefront of potentially reshaping the outlook of the city of Lake Ozark right there off 242, because their goal here is to develop that side of 242. That's where all this began. And you know, he's got that big rock quarry there. There's a lot of movement. I'm just shocked at how quick, when I first noticed something was happening there, how quickly it looks completely different.
Absolutely. I mean, there's like a mountain back there, you know, that they're getting the rock and the sand and everything else from. But I mean, all of a sudden it went from just a normal quarry to overdrive development. You knew something was going on there. It's great to find out what it is.
Yeah, good work to our friends over at Lake Expo, getting the scoop as always. So hey, in our next headline, Morgan County madness. A jailer caught in the act with an inmate. What?
Yeah, this is like crazy. So a now former jailer, right, from the Morgan County Adult Detention Center being charged with having sexual relations with an inmate, right? I mean, I know if you wrote this in Hollywood, people might throw it out for being crazy. Probable cause statement alleges 34-year-old Ashley Nicole Jacobson would frequent a section of the jail out of camera view for extended periods of time to physically engage in kissing and on at least one occasion having intercourse with an unnamed inmate, right? I mean, crazy stuff. Further alleged that plans between Jacobson and the inmate were for them to get married and for him to adopt her child, right? So apparently they had some plans here. Jacobson, who had worked at the jail from April 1st of this year until September 30th, when she was terminated for all of this, is charged with sexual conduct in the course of public duty. That's a Class E felony, punishable up to 4 years in prison, $10,000 fine. Bond was set at $25,000. Crazy. There's been a lot of weird stuff out of Morgan County the last few years.
I did want to say, anytime I see that Morgan County headline, I'm like, here we go again.
Yeah.
This time again, the jailer caught in the act with an inmate. That is a Class E felony. All right, some cool holiday events right around the corner. The first one I'll tell you about, a lot of you familiar with the annual Soto Holiday Bazaar. This year, it's on December 6th at School of the Osage High School. It's the annual fundraiser through the Osage Family Partnership to provide a student and family mental health event. They provide scholarships to the seniors and provide resources to their teachers and student body throughout the academic year. The event draws over 1,200 people annually and provides an indoor space for local vendors to show off their crafts and talents for holiday shoppers. Really cool event.
Yeah, and you can get pictures with Santa there. You got over 100 indoor vendors and everything. So it's just one of those really fun, cool events that, if you got a little bit of time, go and, check that out because you'll probably have a pretty good time.
Yeah, from 9 to 3, and it's just $3. If you have any questions or are interested in getting involved moving forward, you can reach out to Wendy Borders or Wendy Learheimer. I apologize, Wendy. And they'll be happy to get you involved. But one of the coolest annual holiday events at Lake of the Ozarks, and it's their 45th annual Soto Holiday Bazaar.
Really, the 45th? Man, they've been doing that for a while.
Yeah, so from 45th annual event to first annual event. It is the Jingle and Mingle, a Christmas shopping extravaganza, special event of shopping and fellowship at the church at Osage Hills on December 5th from 5 to 9 p.m. There will be gifts, crafts, food, and all proceeds will go to the church at Osage Hills local Momco group, which is a group focusing on benefiting moms with support and encouragement in our Lake of the Ozarks community. Tickets are just $5, and you could buy those in advance on their Facebook page. And you want to do that now because they go up to $10 on December 1st. There's 25 vendors, and what's really cool, they got Chick-fil-A on board to be there.
Oh, hello. Hey, do we know where the Chick-fil-A is going in yet?
I can tell you I don't, but I do know it'll be at the first annual Jingle and Mingle on December 5th at the church at Osage Hills.
I love me some Chick-fil-A.
And here's a few other vendors. Brood Awakenings, Bronzing Boutique, Fire Ridge Farm Stand, Great Joy Bracelets, Little Lux Nursery, Route 54 Apparel. So really cool boutiques and local vendors will be on site for that. All right, so those of you that are already thinking Thanksgiving and Christmas, you're thinking about what meals you're gonna have, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm already there, baby.
And a lot of times, whether it's in a casserole or maybe it's just in an afternoon snack, you think, how about a can of chicken soup from our buddy and friends over at Campbell's, right?
Unbelievable story.
Well, maybe not so fast. The Campbell's VP or executive was caught in a hot mic moment, allegedly.
We have that's for poor people. Who buys our I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's unhealthy. Now that I know what the in it, I can eat bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
Now, allegedly, that was Martin Bally, who is an executive with Campbell's, and it is alleged that he was recorded in an hour-long rant attacking the brand's, as you heard, ingredients,
Wow.
customer base, and even made racial remarks towards Campbell's staff. Robert Garza, who was a cybersecurity analyst for Campbell's, claims that he was fired after reporting this conduct. Now, here's what's wild. Garza was meeting with Bally while Garza worked with Campbell's, believing he was meeting him at a local restaurant to discuss his salary.
Right.
Instead, you heard clips of an hour and 15-minute rant from Bally that left Garza absolutely stunned. So Garza's course of action was to start recording privately, and then he didn't share those recordings, but he reported the behavior to Campbell's HR. You would think they would respond.
Yeah, you'd
Instead,
think they would have appreciated that, right?
that gesture in good faith. Instead, they ignored him, and about 3 weeks later, he was terminated. Now, in the lawsuit filed by Garza against Campbell's, the recording, which had not been heard up until that point in time, was included. And these are some shocking claims if it is somebody that's actually involved with Campbell's. So according to him, their brand's ingredients are trash. Chicken came out of a 3D printer, and that is pretty wild to hear from somebody that you would think would be endorsing their product.
You would think, and you would think RFK Jr. would be interested in this because he's trying to clean up the food in America, right?
Yeah, as for Bally, he was put on leave by Campbell's while investigation is ongoing. Campbell said if the comments were in fact made, they are unacceptable and do not reflect the values of the culture of our company. The comments heard on the recording about our food are not only inaccurate, they are patently absurd. The chicken meat used in our soup comes from long-trusted USDA-approved U.S. suppliers and meets our high-quality standards. But let's be honest, did any of us think that by opening a can of soup that sits on the shelf for years on years that you were probably getting the best choice when it comes to nutrition?
Right. Or fast food, right? I mean, you hear stories about what's in the fast food that we're eating, right? And you don't really want to talk about it because it might make you sick.
Yeah, wouldn't it be something if you heard an executive with the McDonald's company saying, yeah, you think those are chicken in the Happy Meal? Those are literally genetically modified paste that we bread and deep fry and call them McNuggets. You would exactly want to hear that from McDonald's.
You remember the old commercial?
Even if it's true.
You remember the old commercial, Parts is Parts, where one of the fast food was like, our chicken is real chicken. The other people, they throw everything in there, you know, and it's like, I don't even want to know. It's kind of like a sausage or a hot dog. What's in there?
We don't know, and we don't want to know. So, hey, as we told you, the Osage Indians, they took us a long way here in the high school football season. And although the last Coach's Show with Coach Shannon Jolly and Uncle Chris currently airing, this week will be its final. And starting next week on Tuesday, not only do we got our high school basketball Coach's Show with Uncle Chris presented by Central Ozarks Medical Center. You got 20 different coaches coming in, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We've got the boys and girls coaches from 10 different local area schools. I mean, obviously, you know, Osage, Camdenton, Eldon, Versailles and stuff, but we've also got Climax Springs and Max Creek and Warsaw and Eugene. And, you know, so the teams that are close but a little further out, Eugene boys are defending state champions, you know, going in. So we'll be talking to all those coaches, boys and girls, you know, and through the month of December, we'll see all of those coaches and shows talking about their schools and programs and players. So it'll be fun.
Love that. And of course, that debuts next Tuesday on December 2nd. Also debuting is live high school basketball again with the great Uncle Chris. And we got a good lineup. It's Eldon at Camdenton Tuesday, but you have a 14-game schedule with guys and girls games.
Absolutely. So a couple years ago, Chris Caesar from Arrowhead Title came up to me and she said, why don't you do girls games? And I said, we don't have a sponsor. She said, well, I'll sponsor them, right? So we've started to do ladies games, and they're fun. They're great.
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot of the rivalry games. We start out with the Eldon Camdenton ladies, Tuesday, December 2nd. But we've also got Camdenton at Osage, big rivalry. And we've got Osage and Eldon, the girls, and Eldon and Versailles. So those are just the girls' games. You know, the guys' games, we've got Eldon, a couple games at home, Buffalo and Sullivan, Camdenton, is home to Salem, and Waynesville and West Plains will bring you those games. A playoff rematch from last year for the district championship, Bolivar and Osage. Remember how good the Osage guys were last year? They were 20-game winners last year. So, I mean, all those games and more, and all the rivalries, you know, where the local teams play each other. So be looking for those, because it'll be a lot of fun this year.
Yeah, and are you anticipating Osage, the guy's going to have a pretty good run again
You know,
this year?
they've got a new coach, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that new coach and his new system and everything. Camdenton over the years in basketball has not been great. They've been a football school, not a basketball school. It'd be great to see them turn that around and start winning a lot of games in basketball. And just in the last few years, Osage has started to get really good in basketball. Like we said, 20-game winner last year, and probably again this year, because they've got a lot of the guys coming back from last year's team. So I think for sure the Osage guys are going to be really good this year, and hopefully Camdenton, Eldon, Versailles will step up and do pretty well.
Awesome. Yeah, you can catch all the high school basketball on Lake TV starting next Tuesday, December 2nd with Uncle C. All right, one of our favorite events of the year is underway. It's Homes for the Holidays, and it's the 17th annual Homes for the Holidays bed drive with kids the main focus. Of course, Scott's Concrete, Scotty Martin, Slumberland Furniture, Jill, Daryl, Arvin, and their team and KRMS. They're working to provide over 100 gifts of a good night's sleep this holiday season. Hey, if you know of a child who is sleeping on the floor, on a sofa, or sharing a bed with a sibling or a family member, there's room for more kiddos this holiday season. There's nothing like the gift of a good night's rest. It's crucial in the growth and development of our kids. You can reach out to our good friends at KRMS, as Barbara Bunch does an amazing job running this program at 660-890-5530. There is still time. Someone in your family, one of your friends, somebody you know, listen, there is no shame. Call the number. They're going to hook you up, and not only do they provide you with a bed, mattress, bedding, they also deliver it to your house. Of course, our buddy Scott's Concrete, his crew, and the delivery team here under the direction of Arvin, they do an amazing job. And again, over at KRMS, it's Ken and Barbara making it happen. So we love all of our friends that bring this program together. Over the last 17 years, well over 1,000 beds have been gifted during the holiday season. So we just love that incredible program.
You know, and you don't think about it. You know, if you got a bed, a comfortable bed, you don't think about not having a bed. But there are some people out there, a lot of kids out there that don't have a bed. So this is pretty huge. This is pretty important.
Yeah, amazing there. All right, so as we look at the high school football season's over, we still have a couple weeks of the regular college football season before you get ready for the college football playoffs, plus NFL football. We'll start with college. Mizzou and Oklahoma, what were your thoughts?
Oklahoma is really good this year, really good. They beat Alabama a couple years ago, so I wasn't surprised that Mizzou lost that game. I'm impressed with Mizzou, how hard they play and how many good players they have. Remember how bad they were just a few years ago before Drinkowitz was hired? That was a clown show there, and they've really turned that around, and they're really pretty strong now. Just couldn't get quite over that edge, but that's still a pretty darn good team. They're going to go bowling. They're going to have a big bowl game, I think.
Everybody goes bowling. Look, all you got to do
Not everybody.
All you got to do is win 5 games to go bowling. They lost 17-6. They forced 9 Oklahoma punts and managed just 6 points on offense. Yeah. They're 0-4 this season against AP top 25 teams. They're 2-4 in their last 6 games after starting 5-0. Next week, they're at Arkansas. And I want to know, Mizzou fans, what's your assessment of the 2025 season so far? And if you don't like it, who is to blame? Do you blame Kirby Moore? Do you blame Drinkowitz? Who's to blame for this week's woes? A lot of people are saying it's great. A lot of people like you were like, hey, 7 wins, we're going bowling, are happy and satisfied with that. But when you have one of the best defenses in the SEC, a lot of fans are saying it's not enough. 0-4 against top 25 teams, and when you're going to play with the big dogs in the SEC, got to win some of those games against the top 25 teams, don't you?
Yeah, you do. But again, remember how bad it was before Drinkowitz got there. That was pitiful. and he's turned that program around. I know
It's like the Cowboys. You throw enough money at something, they'll be mediocre for long enough.
That's true, very true. Money plays a huge part now.
Yeah, and now the University of Missouri is saying the big corporations in Missouri aren't helping them enough. They need to give more money. But I just wanted to know what Mizzou fans were thinking. All right, so for our Slumberland Best Seat in the House contest, it's heating up. We're only about 7 weeks away from playoffs, so we're getting ready. We're getting closer to awarding 2 winners. It was another close week. This week's winner, my buddy Vincent Martinez, 13 correct this week.
He was on fire, man. He was great.
Congratulations. Hey, and in second place, it's our gal Mary Pat Brooks with 12 this week.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Vincent. You win your $25 gift card to Tucker Shuckers. You can pick that up right here at Slumberland at the League. As for the season standings, Alma Anderson still in first place, 125. Nick Reese, 124. Uncle Chris, 121, and Spencer Wall with 120. Real quick, how about those Kansas City Chiefs?
They won that game. It looked like they were going to lose that to the Colts. And typical Chiefs, fourth quarter comeback, they pull it out by the skin of their teeth, right? That was a must-win if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. And I think it's another must-win this week against the Cowboys, Thanksgiving Day. And the Cowboys beat the Eagles last week, and they really kind of manhandled them. So I'm a little worried for that
21-0.
Yeah.
Came back and won. So real quick, Chiefs were down 20-9 when Kareem Hunt fumbled at the Colts 6-yard line in the fourth quarter. It looked over.
Yep.
Right? The defense of Kansas City forced 4 straight 3-and-outs.
Yep.
By the Colts, including in overtime. They came back and won 23-20, and Harrison Butker, 5 for 5 on field goals. My boy Harrison getting it done. They're currently 10th in the AFC wild card, or 10th in the AFC playoff.
They're out of the playoffs
They're on
right
the
now.
outside looking in, but I'm going to make a bold prediction.
Okay.
They're absolutely going to sneak into the playoffs.
Okay.
They're at the Cowboys, Thanksgiving Day. They're going to take care of business against the
hope you're
Cowboys.
right, yeah.
They got the Texans and the Chargers. Neither one of those teams scared me. They're going to win the next 3 games, and then the conversation will change about the Chiefs.
All those teams scare me. The Texans beat the Bills last week, and they looked great doing it. That scares me. Chargers have
And
already
they'll lose
beaten
to
the Chiefs.
Versailles this weekend. So that's the way the NFL works this week.
It is
year.
funny. That is
All
the
right,
way it works.
Real quick, I want to test your Thanksgiving knowledge. Got a little Thanksgiving trivia for you.
Okay.
Uncle Chris, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, what was the first meat at Thanksgiving?
The first meat, I don't think it was like turkey or ham that we do today. I would say it was something, they were, living in the wild, so something from the wild. So maybe deer, maybe.
Yep, bingo. Venison, duck, goose, fish.
Duck,
Nailed
goose,
it.
baby, yeah.
1 for 1. How many pumpkin pies are consumed each year?
In America today? Oh, wow. Gosh, a million?
50 million.
Are you kidding me?
50 million
Wow.
pumpkin pies. Hey, what year was the first Macy's Day Parade?
I'm going to say like 1906.
Close, 1924.
Really?
It just celebrated 100 years. And did you know that before it was balloons with helium, giant balloons, it was zoo animals?
Really?
Yeah.
They brought zoo animals through the streets?
They did indeed.
Wow.
Hey, what popular Christmas song was originally written as a Thanksgiving song?
I know, because I just did this one on the top of the hours. Jingle bells.
Bingo,
Yay,
very
baby.
good. All right, I think you'll appreciate this one. The day after Thanksgiving marks the busiest day of the year for what industry?
Plumbing.
Correct. Bingo. That's hilarious. Of course you knew that. How many cranberries does it take to make 1 jar or 1 can of cranberry sauce?
A million?
200.
200.
Yeah, you went high on that one. All right, on average, how many feathers does a turkey have?
Oh, wow. 10,000.
Well, you were close, 5,000.
Really?
Yeah,
That's not
Unique
that
and Andrew
close.
both guessed in the hundreds.
Really?
So you were up
Wow.
there. Very good. What sound does a female turkey make? No, that's a male. That's
Oh,
a gobble.
okay.
Female turkey, she cackles.
Oh, okay,
So
well,
that's what I do when I
Kind of
laugh.
like my mother-in-law.
All right, we got to end. Season of Thanksgiving, what's truly important is being thankful, and the exact count kind of varies depending on what translation, but give thanks appears in the word 44 different times. So I'll end with, and whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God, the Father, through him, which is Colossians 3:17. And probably my favorite, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. That is Philippians 4:6-7, and that'll do it for this week's Thanksgiving edition of A Cup of Coffee. Thanks for watching, and happy Thanksgiving.